Hey folks, Justin here, and welcome to Meta Mondays. Today we're playing Thuldir's recent Tribunal Temple deck. This is his control deck that he brought to the Warp Meta tournament this last weekend, and I like it. It's got some pretty spicy stuff in it, and Thuldir, of course, did really well in that tournament, and I'm really eager to give this a go. I have not honestly played a whole lot of classic Tribunal control, so this should be an interesting one for us. As usual with these, we're just hopping in and we're going to learn together as we go. TB Love, the founder, on Spell Sword. Let's do it. Alright, by the way, new fancy Isle of Madness t-shirt. I got some interaction. I got a Numerous Shrine. I'm going to keep the Shrine. Shrine is part of the spice package here, and I'm eager to give it a go. If they drop tokens and stuff like that, we're just going to pray that we draw some Ice Storms, but we'll see how this works. Merchant's Camel. Awesome. Now, this is a deck designed for the tournament, so it's not necessarily going to be... it wasn't built for the ladder necessarily. I think that's alright. Am I supposed to execute this? Not the draw we're looking for. I think I'm going to let this live for now, just so I can ring out the Shrine. Okay. Alright, so, if our opponent just edicts this, they're not developing their board, and we can respond with a Emperor's Blade. And that's a much better execute target. Alright, so what are we doing here? So, if I drop the execute... there's also not a huge reason to play the execute. But they could have Squish the Mighty. I really don't want them doing any ramping. I'm going to go ahead and Camel. Take the cast in the time. And I will execute this now. The cost of things in our hand doesn't lend itself to a lot of shrining quite yet. Let's do this. Another one. I don't really want to cast that into time. I could negation. I got 2 negations. If I Sorcerer's Negation it, though... I think this is okay. Let's say that they go face here. That's cool. I could use some more cards. We have answers. We have a late game plan. This is Guard Spell Sword. I like it. I like cutting my teeth on this deck. This is great. Thaden. Thaden's going to be an exciting one here in a bit. For right now, I am going to cast this into time now. Let's see if they're holding on to more of them. This is not Singleton, but they apparently only have one of those. Apologies. I'll pass. Alright, so I don't know what's happening. I'm completely clueless here. Doggy Rot Mystic. Okay. Probably don't want that to happen. I think for right now, though, I'm just going to do this. Our opponent is ahead on resources. We have gotten no shrine value yet. I'm excited to give Thaden a play, though. This is an East Empire Crafter deck. I like it. And there's another Snowhawk detachment. So we're kind of just locked into casting this into time. I'm going to get that off the board. And I will Harpy this too, just to keep removal from triggering this again. And apparently we're just never getting any value from our Numerous Shrine. Lurking Mummy. Prison Ship. I'm down with this, man. I love it. I love it. Daggerfall Mage, Thaden is my play. This trade's here for free. This trade's in unsuccessfully. There's no good Ice Storm here. Alright, we have turned this into the Mania lane. It says at the start of each player's turn, if they have the creature with the highest health in this lane, they draw a card. This is going to be a tough deck to get consistent Thaden value off of. This could definitely super backfire. If they go face here, we are going to get a draw card, which we desperately need. Cruel Firebloom is kind of cool. Let's see what they do here. As it stands, I can swing Cruel Firebloom if I have to. Okay, it's less than ideal. Laneth, interesting. So let's say we swing here, we equip. Yeah, I think I'm into that. We did not draw a card because this thing is here. There's the Gatekeeper. So I Ice Storm and then this thing triggers for them. %. Yeah. Not ideal. We do get the Gatekeeper down, and we finally trigger our Shrine for a Shadowfen Priest. They do have a support that they drew last turn. We can play Parthenax next turn, too. High Rothgar, one of my favorite cards in the game. I'm down with this. Lurking Mummy value. So let me mute my phone real quick. I'm totally into this. Meta Mondays, not always as meta as you might think. Again, no value here. Alright, what are we doing? I could Odinaran Necromancer back something. Swing, Ice Storm, Shadowfen Priest, an option as well.
This should help. You have my thanks. You have my thanks. Oh, now you've upset.
Okay. And then I'm going to Odinaran Necromancer. Back the Camel for some more value. Another Shrine doesn't seem particularly good, but maybe it is. Yeah, we'll take it. And a long-term investment. So, previous Meta Mondays have been Aggro Warrior and mid-range Aggro Sorcerer. I feel like the learning... Those are decks with a lot of lines, a lot of complicated play patterns. But, there goes Parthenax. This is definitely on the surface, a more challenging deck to learn, I would say. Cicero. So we can Ice Storm all this away if I swing this. So I swing this at this. I swing here. Swing here, swing here. I Ice Storm, Shrine, Mummy, draw a bunch of cards. Alright. Now we have Edicts, so I can eventually silence this. It's going to be a problem if I don't. And losing my Parthenax is pretty sad. That is like the big thing in the deck. Misspell Warden, absolutely. Wow, the value from this High Rothgar is real. Alright, we're playing Laneth. What are we grabbing with Laneth? We're going to play a couple of twos so we draw more cards. This is everything left in our deck. Okay. Iron, Twilight, Memory Wraith is tempting. I think eventually we just overwhelm them.
Welcome, friend.
I'm going to take the Edict. So that I can do something about this. Draw a couple more cards. There's Memory Wraith. We're probably going to need to just jam Memory Wraith so that we can offset stuff that could happen to us. That's amazing. We finally get to draw a card. Oh, we are drawing a shitload of cards. I definitely appreciate this. Alright, so this is going away. Alright, so this was a good one to get a feel for what's going on here. Alright, we'll be right back for another one. Alright, we are back for game number 2 with Thuldir's Tournament Tribunal Temple deck. How do I describe that last game? I don't know. We had some fun. We drew a whole bunch of cards. We played against Guard Spellsword. Awesome. It was awesome. Yeah, and we got to play Thayden, Duke of Mania. Finally drew us a card. It was great. What are we learning so far? The deck, other than Parthenax, has no like big stuff. Looks like you're playing a sort of value game, which I can appreciate. And now we have what I assume is going to be a much different matchup against Track 2, the Celebrity, on Crusader. I'm going to full keep. I have the ring. I got the Tree Minder, which is a guard. I got the Skinned Hound. I got the Galen. Let's do it. I'm not going to play Skinned Hound because there's a part of me that's is seriously considering shuffling Galen copies of Skinned Hound into my deck. I'm also kind of into shuffling Hive Defenders in. Anybody leading with an Orc Clan captain seems like a guy who doesn't want to see 6-9 copies of Hive Defender. Meta Mondays. Alright. Okay. Crusader's Assault will let us develop our Tree Minder guilt-free next turn. Now there's one copy of Solitaire in the deck. So, we're not going, we're not all in on the Solitaire plan. Mighty Ally. I don't have an answer for this. Well, now I do. I'll go ahead and poke. I have Hive Defender to develop. Looking for Thayden, Duke of Mania. Seems like it's always good. Wow. Well, puts it out of execute range. It's Thayden, Duke of Mania. Do I want to execute this? I think the answer to that is yes. Okay, so we got guard in the field lane. It's a lame guard, but it is a guard. We have Solitaire back for Galen right now, which doesn't seem super awesome. Okay. Divine Fervor, an interesting inclusion in the deck, and no hit from my opponent. I draw an extra card from Thayden, and we draw just the Stone Cold Nuts. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I got the Edict for removal. Wow, Thayden. Beautiful card. Drawing 2 cards a turn. And we protected it from behind a guard. My opponent has to move to this lane now. It is a 6-3 with a 5-3 without breakthrough. We draw another extra card. Wow. I mean, this is just painful, I have to imagine. We're going to Edict Emperor's Blade, pass the turn. Oh, Thayden, Duke of Mania. Look at this guy. I love it. There's actually a really interesting article written by Joshua R. Layton on, you can find it on the Reddit, about how this works. About the new lane change cards, which I definitely appreciate. My opponent's still at it, which I appreciate. I'm super tempted actually to break 2 runes. And I'm tempted to do it because of Moose. I'm going to do that.
I smell the stench of the living.
I assume we're not getting... I wanted this big enough to survive a charge creature. I assume we're not dying to Immolating Blast here. Pointing Wall Spikes. Oh, all these cards. It's absolutely beautiful. Alright. Well, we did hit a Prophecy. I'm kind of just wantonly swinging, but yeah, we have kind of done it here. I don't think there's any Prophecy that's going to save him. There we go. Let's give this good boy lethal, and we'll be right back for game number 3 with Meta Mondays. Alright, we are back for number 3 with Thuldir's Tournament Tribunal deck. This is a really interesting list. I mean, super low to the ground, super low curve. You know, there are 2 cards in the deck that cost more than 6, just Laneth and Parthenax. You know, a number of 6s. There's Ice Storms, Necromancers, and of course, Thaden, Duke of Mania. Now we have the Tribunal Mirror, which is something I'm so looking forward to. I'll keep Shrine. That just seems right. You know, if they remove it, they remove it. And it's just, you know, it's not ideal for us. But if we can ring this out on 3 and start working, could be a way to win. So, let's do it. I'm not optimistic about Thaden himself surviving, but I am cautiously optimistic. Ooh, Windkeep Spellsword. I think I'm supposed to Skinned Hound that. I save Execute for Daggerfall Mage. This suggests to me that their deck is more aggressive than mine. I mean, they could, you know, remove this. Then I got some great follow-ups. Okay, yeah, this totally works for me. So I am going to drop the Emperor's Blade and swing into this. And this might eat a removal spell. I mean, it's an Edict right now. Or a Lightning Bolt Swing. Lightning Bolt Swing is great for me. Ninjetic, our opponent. Bleak Coast Troll. That is a beautiful draw, and it would apparently be why we're running those cards in this deck. Cool. And we have a nice reactive hand here. Now, depending on how big their curve goes, we could have a problem. Moose could be a problem as far as resource generation goes. Okay, they swing. Another Mammoth. An Old Velothi Assassin. I'm kind of into Shrining. But this is just too good. Wow, Divine Fervor in Control Tribunal. Looking pretty strong right here. Okay. Going face because they have East March Crusaders in hand. Nailed it. Alright, Pointy Wall Spikes seems good. Right now it's just Hive Defender though. I'm gonna kind of piecemeal things out so that I can get that Shrine value. I am worried about Moose. A Moose right here would be painful. I'm going to remove this. Negation. Black Dragon. Okay. Hallowed Death Priest seems good. What's that last card? Is it Ancano? It's Grand Inquisitor. Okay. Again, gonna pass the turn. Have the stuff necessary to trade into this next turn. And I can drop my hand. Which I am definitely excited about doing. I do lose my Hive Defender, the last one. Cool Lawkeeper. It's pretty good. Okay. We look pretty solid here. So, I think I'm into negating this, swinging into this. Yeah. Get the wall spikes down. And start the cycling. And there's Parthenax. Alright. I like it. So one of the things that I like about this build is that it is so much less greedy than I would have built it myself. There's just an edict. I will play the Mastermind. I will grab the Emperor's Blade. I don't think I play the Emperor's Blade, though. Now, if this card in their hand is... They didn't play it, right? So it's either like a Lightning Bolt or it's Supreme Atromancer. And if it's Supreme Atromancer, I'm good with the board I have. So I don't play Emperor's Blade. And part of the, incentive to keeping Emperor's Blade is that I can trigger the Shrine again. And I'm not in any rush. Except against Moose. Mentor's Ring. Yeah, I think I just pass. And if I have to, I play Parthenax. Opponent could be trying to overwhelm me with cards. I can appreciate that. There's an old Velothi. It's good against this. Siege Catapult. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and trigger our Emperor's, our Shrine of Namira, and let's get moving. Ooh, second Shrine. Now I might even get greedier. But yeah, we have the Parthenax. We're kind of like taking control of the board. I'm going to play Parthenax into the field lane to oppose whatever they've got. There's a Bleak Coast Troll. There's another Siege Catapult. Okay. Yeah, let's play Parthenax. An oldie but a goodie. We have Drain Vitality, Call. Okay, so... Well... Let's go ahead and do this. We can make this a 1/1. Or we can put 4 damage on it, I mean. Which I think is good. I guess there was a little less than ideal ordering there. But we can make that at 1 toughness, so it dies to either of these. And really I just wanted to trigger my my Shrine again. I'm kind of looking for a drain creature, right? So that I can get Mentor's Ring value. Yeah. Memory Wraith. Okay. I think we're probably at the point where I need to stop doing this, but not quite. Alright. Looks good, looks good. Let's get the Memory Wraith in there. And next turn we'll do stuff. Hollow Death Priest. Now, because we haven't lost a rune, I don't think there's any 2 cards. I find it unlikely that there's 2 cards in their deck that they can use to turn this on. And we're also ahead of them in life, and now we're going to kill them. Nice. Alright, so... Yeah. Let's do this. Okay, we had a Prophecy. What do we got, Mr. Jeddick? Lightning Bolt. 7, 13, exactly 16. Swing with the creature that dies, Lightning Bolt. It is now only Harpy. There we go. Memory Wraith lethal. We will be right back for game number 4. Alright, game number 4, Meta Mondays, Thuldir's Tribunal Control. We are learning this deck together. We've played against Tribunal mid-range. We played against Spell Sword stuff, Guard Spell Sword, and we've played against Aggro Crusader. And so far the games weren't really close. Actually, the game that felt the closest was the Spell Sword deck. Now we're playing against another Tribunal deck, Al 13, rank 1, the Nerevarine. Let's do this. Nope. Some interest in keeping Emperor's Blade. Alright, hand got noticeably worse. The Divine Fervors have been good. Do they have a 1-drop? Okay, no. Alright, Piercing Twilight. Well, it's not the card we want, but it's the card we probably deserve. Old Velothi leading in the Shadow Lane. Let's see execute one time. Nope. Alright, well, we do have something to play. The endless rallies are going to be a bit of a problem. Tribunal leading against Tribunal in the Shadow Lane, huh? Barrow Stalker. Okay. Harpy. Harpy's not good here. Neither is Piercing Twilight. Neither is Emperor's Blade. What am I supposed to be doing here? I'm going to put this in this lane to contest anything they might play. And then we're going to reevaluate here in a second. It might be that I cast something at the time. I'm not excited about that. I'm looking for better options. They've got 2 rallies, so they could oppose this with a number of rallied creatures. They also have Emperor's Blade. Okay. Well, you're a little late here, execute. But I'll take it. And I will remove the Old Velothi Assassins, I guess. They still have 2 rallies unaccounted for. Yeah, I'll pass my turn here. And now they have the Divine Fervor, and it's going to stomp me. Alright, well. We do get to keep this guy here. There's Pointy Wall of Spikes. I want to cast this into time so that I can play another cast, or so I can play my Iron for value next turn. Because I'd rather get cast than execute, especially with a Divine Fervor on the board. The Gatekeeper. Okay. Alright, let's get casting the time back. We got execute. Alright, let's pass turn. So Moose, again, a terrifying card for our opponent to have. And execute unlikely to get any value. Luzra. Uh-oh. Barrow Stalker. How do we feel about casting into time Luzra? I think we're into it. So we've kind of stemmed the bleeding, but we don't have a lot going on, and if my opponent starts hitting trolls and mammoths even, we're going to have a problem. Need to hit my own Divine Fervor. We cast in the time the Velothi Assassins, which might be the only creature left we could execute. Okay. Oh, another execute, huh? I'm actually just going to Harpy this. this. For a second I was thinking about letting this hit me for more cards, but they're running Eastmarch Crusader almost certainly. So we need to trade on board. Best draw in my deck right now I think is Divine Fervor. Although Edict would be pretty good too. Just somehow dealing with this situation would be great. In fact, Edict would probably be better, just so I can use my executes. Tree Minder is, of course, not the card we're looking for. Okay. Gonna pass. Need resources. They're not playing anything. They have Supreme Atromancer. They do. Beautiful. Alright. Prophecy, a lightning bolt one time. Crown Quartermaster. Alright, we have Mentor's Ring, which doesn't seem great. Nothing actually seems great here.
This might be handy.
Okay, well, we're going to do this and hope that our next draws are better. Oh man, they probably have another one too. Yeah, we just drew the wrong part of our deck here. Yeah. Sure. Pointy wall spikes. Bone Colossus. Jeez. Okay. Well, I think we've lost this game. To not lose, we need exactly support removal and Ice Storm. And that's going to break through for 5. Or not. Sure. Either way, we didn't get it. Yeah, okay. Well, that sucked. We'll be right back for another one, guys. Alright, 3-1 with Thuldir's Control Tribunal from the most recent Warp Meta tournament. We've beaten Tribunal, Spell Sword, and Crusader, and we have lost to Tribunal. Let's see what's next as we figure this deck out. Mr. Gloss on Redoran. Cool, let's do it. With the ring, do I keep Ice Storm? I'm going to go with no. I'm going to keep the negation. Looks like I'm keeping negation, and Edict. So no early creatures, but that's not necessarily terrible. Our opponent, a prophet, by the way, so thank you for your good work. What do we know so far about this deck? Well, it's definitely, even though the curve is super low, it's possible to still draw the wrong half of the deck, the wrong half of the early game interaction, and kind of get run over by these bigger mid-range kind of creatures. Okay, we got a Harpy for something to do. And no play, huh? In that case, I'm going to ring out the Tree Minder. Just increase our options as time goes on here. And if it is Redoran Conscription, keeping pace with ramp is important. I got nothing to do here. Alright, so Archcannon Sarioni. And there's a Namira Shrine, and I will happily immediately edict that. We too are an Namira Shrine deck, but I am not interested in letting my opponent have that value. I am interested in playing both of these next turn, and then playing Cannon. Instead, it looks like we're going to play Merchant's Camel. And... Huh. Do we have anything to Piercing Twilight? I can't enter their discard pile while looking at this. We have the Edicts. That's the only card they've played. I'm sorry, the Shrines. They're a control deck. We're going to take just the body. And we're going to pass. See what they do here. Rapid Shot. I would suspect Rage or Doomcrag. Mastermind Twilight could be a way that we get some serious value here as they get rid of a Squish the Wimpy. That's a card I wouldn't mind Piercing Twilighting out of their deck. So let's do that. Piercing Twilight. Squish the Wimpy. They still have one in hand. We're going to play Emperor's Blade. And then I'm going to play Archcannon next turn and get aggressive. That is the place, that is the position we're at right now, I think. We have negation for sort of answering a rage creature. They have one Squish the Wimpy left and it's in their hand. There is no counterplay to that at this point. I could Harpy next turn too for additional Archcannon value. I'm worried about stuff like Immolating Blast too. Interesting situation. Falkreath Defiler, Squish the Wimpy, Mummify. Okay. Well, then this changes things, right? Because now I'm going to Cruel Firebloom. This is 7, so yeah, let's do this.
The Tribunal will always come to the people's aid.
Exalt.
The Tribunal's power.
We're going to draw a card. I'm going to give Drain and Guard to this. I don't really care about that, and I want my turrets less interesting. I'm going to Cruel Firebloom before I swing. And now I'm pushing a bunch of damage. Because I didn't want to hit a Prophecy or the new 4/1 guard guy that randomly shows up at the end of their turn. And be in a position where my Cruel Firebloom's not 100% to hit their Falkreath Defiler. Because I just really, really don't need them doing whatever they want to do with that card. Now, my hope is that their response here is guard creatures, because with negations, I have 8, I have 18, I have a bunch of damage on board. I can kill them. Yeah, that's actually exactly what we were looking for. All right.
By the light of the three.
And we did hit a Prophecy. I mean, Edict would keep them alive. Okay. I'm not Edict, Javelin. There we go. All right, 4-1. We'll be right back for more Meta Mondays. And I think I'm getting a feel for this now, which I really appreciate. All right, back for our 5th game with Thuldir's Tournament Tribunal deck for Meta Mondays. I know that Ramp Rage Warrior is a popular deck in the ladder right now. It is part of the meta right now. The reason I didn't choose that for today's Meta Mondays video is, frankly, I've played a lot of that deck already on the channel, and Meta Mondays is an experience, a learning experience, and a growing experience for all of us Legends players, myself included. And this is not a deck I'm super familiar with. Now we have our third Tribunal deck. So it looks like I correctly chose the meta deck. Yeah, we'll throw Parthenax back. I don't need that sitting in my hand hitting mummification type things for the next 12 turns. Alright, so X have the Immortal on Tribunal Temple. No play. Well, we got 2 Barrow Stalkers, so I'm playing 1. I got nothing interactive, actually. I have creatures. Execute. Cool. I think that's okay. If this is just a Tribunal control mirror, then what we really, really, really want is Shrine. And for it not to be removed. I keep hoping that there's more coffee in here, and there's not. Right. Mage's Trick. Fair enough. Merchant's Camel. That is the only Memory Wraith in my deck. Necromancer can bring back Treeminder, but, like, we're not really a ramp deck. I still think I take Necromancer. Okay. We're both not a ramp deck and not a Journey to Sovngarde deck, it's worth pointing out. Cunning Ally in a 3-color deck. And it triggers. Sweet. Okay. Pointy Wall of Spikes. Do I just bring... I mean, I don't have a lot of great plays. I'm just going to bring back Treeminder. Now, they can use the Firebolt they generated to swing into this. That is definitely a thing that could happen to me. Right. God, how did they both trigger? Okay. Well. Their hand is 2 Firebolts and 4 unknown cards. Execute Narrowstorm. I'm going to play this. They could silence it, I guess, but it's not a great Firebolt target. I need Parthenax. And I need it not to be cast at a time. Wow. Another Mage's Trick. They have gotten some pretty astounding Mage's Trick value. There's one of the Firebolts. And now they swing face. Okay. Okay. Well, execute's good here. I'm going to play this over here. I want to take 3 damage because I want to draw cards. I don't think they're running East March Crusader, and I need to guard my life total that zealously. This doesn't die to their Firebolt. That quick swing says that I'm wrong. Okay. Alright. So let's get the other Firebolt out of their hand. What an interesting game. I know a Gatekeeper won't die to their Ice Storm, or to their Firebolt, but...
The Tribunal will always come to the people's aid.
Okay.
Behold the Tribunal's...
Little Archcannon value. Pretty low impact, though. I gave the guard and the drain to that one. Let's play the Divine Fervor. And the Emperor's Blade. Can't swing into it on board. They don't have... Well, they could have more firebolts, but they don't have one in their hand that we've seen. Except they have Spirit Knife. Wow. Okay. Piercing Twilight. Well, I need to get Spirit Knife out of their deck. Because I need them not to have more of these. They had a whole 3. And I'm going to play the Pointy Wall Spikes. I have stuff for their Shadow Lane plays. There's the Shadowfen Priest. Devour.
By the light of the three.
Well, we're just running out of stuff. Given how much removal we've seen already, I suspect that my Gatekeeper's not going to survive either. And there's a 12. And it's Guard Parthenax. And I know for a fact that they're going to bring it back to life. Fire Breath. Yeah. We're going to get Parthenax looped. Alright, Indral Mastermind. I guess it's Ice Storm. Edict. Edict Parthenax. And now Solitaire Parthenax. Blood Magic Lord. Okay. Raise Dead.
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
Do I just Ice Storm, Ice Storm? And my opponent has twice as much stuff as I do, including an unused, I assume, raised Solitaire. Right. So our deck is probably pretty good in tournaments, but loses to more greedy decks on the ladder. Emperor's Blade. Shrine. This just gets removed right away.
Praise to Namira, whose sphere is the ancient.
The Tribunal will always come to the people's aid. Behold the Tribunal's war.
I just need stuff. Give that guard. Tree Miner's a great draw. So at least we got some cycling there. Another Airostorm, of course, lets him push damage. Firestorm. We can't beat this. Galen, Shadowfen Priest. Okay. I can reverberating strike that off the board.
Praise to Namira.
I don't want to Galen any of this stuff.
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
I will keep Sothasil's people alive.
Nope. There's a negation, and now we're just, what, dead to Ancano Lightning Bolt? Yep. Okay. negation. Abyssinian Navigator? Jesus Christ, these are all triggering?
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
Okay. Mentor's Ring. This is shackled next turn. I can hope to draw a drain creature. I have one Barrow Stalker left. And then combo it with Mentor's Ring.
You must be cleansed.
That's my out.
Repel the outlanders.
That's all I got. I got one more chance at a Barrow Stalker. Hist Grove. Ice Storm. Okay. Back to square one. Thaden would be a great draw. Gotta cast in the time, gotta play the Hive Defender. Actually, I shouldn't have played the Hive Defender. There's no charge creatures in their deck, but yeah, we just desperately need that drain creature for any chance of staying alive. Iron brings back, I assume, something remarkable. Jesus Christ. Wow.
This might be handy.
Oh my god. Why? Why?
Out marries.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, we are back for our final game for Meta Mondays with Thuldir's Tribunal control deck. A tournament deck that put in some impressive showing in this most recent Meta Mondays. Or most recent Warp Meta tournament. And, I wanted to highlight, showcase one of the best players in Legends with a pretty impressive deck. It hasn't been great against anything that can outgreed it. We almost lost to a Spell Sword deck, actually, that went greedy. So I'm a little concerned. Let's see how we do against Absoler on Telvanni. The deck is just too responsible. There's Thaden. There's Thaden. Let's see if we can get some Thaden value against this Telvanni deck. Yeah, I'll play a Barrow Stalker.
Smell the stench of the living.
We got things to oppose. We got stuff. Opponent doing some early ramp.
By the 8th,
Now,
they will meet
so considering what we've learned so far about the greed level of some of the decks on the ladder and our inability to compete with that greed. Yep, there's the negation.
I smell the stench of the living.
Do I just Divine Fervor here? It might be
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
necessary against Telvanni for us to just go face. They've had silence and silence so far. I'm going to play Thaden.
Wrong place for a midnight stroll.
Doesn't die to Cruel Firebloom. Does die to Cruel Firebloom plus
By the 8th, they will meet their
plus
makers.
dude. Okay. Well, I can Reverberating Strike Hive Defender. That keeps our hopes and dreams alive. And I'm sure they've got Vipers that they desperately want to use. Let's get as much value from this lane as possible. Mummify. Nope, we still control this lane. We still have the toughness. They have to tome. There's a scout's report. Okay. Mentor's ring. I'm not going to break a rune yet. I'm going to play Emperor's Blade, Daggerfall Mage. They can clear with an Ice Storm? No. Yes. No. No, they cannot. Necromancer bringing back... No Vipers. Okay. Sure. And there's a Barrow Stalker. So we do get to draw a card from the Mania lane. Now Quartermaster, Pointy Wall Spikes. So, we're looking for an answer to this. Let's see if we can find it. We have Executes, Reverberating Strikes, or Edicts. Am I into edicting that? It force them to trade both in if they don't have the Ice Storm? I'm down. And unless they play something then to follow up, they're also not controlling this lane then. The battle for Mania is real. This little mini game is pretty great. We also need to find an answer to Conscription. Basically Ice Storm and Piercing Twilight. Sure. Okay. Ice Storm here would be pretty great too. But we are generating tremendous amounts of value. Okay, so let's think about this for a second. Assuming it's Conscription, we could cast this in the time so they won't pull Harpies from their Conscription. If we cast one of these in the time, one of them still survives, so that's not great. So let's play the Merchant's Camel. I think we want negation. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I am, however, going to negation this. Play Pointy Wall Spikes. And hopefully use my Camel to trigger the Mania lane. I've generated a ton of value from that. Continuing that plan is where I'm at right now. Negation. Mentor's Ring for Drain. That's not great, right? The Camel's going to trigger the Mania lane, and they're going to lose all their stuff. And the last card in their hand is Conscription. And we have Piercing Twilight as the follow-up.
Praise to Namira.
At the ready.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
So we're going to get Shrine value as well. We are just churning through our deck like crazy. We have Piercing Twilight for their Conscriptions.
The Hist revives.
No, Thorn Hiss Mage. Okay, so we're not getting value from this next turn. They're going to swing at that. Okay. So they had nothing. Hollow Death Priest, not great here. Breaker Rune. I should have done this first. Another Shrine. What have I played already this turn? Negation, Dagger. So Shrine will draw me another card. I cannot play that Twilight, can I? But then I draw him a card. I'm going to do it. I'm going to play it. And I'm going to remove... tempted to remove Mummify so that my Parthenax survives. I think I want to remove the last Necromancer. Okay, we drew 2 cards. Beautiful. If this is conscription, it's conscription, and that's just how it rolls sometimes. Okay, they're removing one of those. I don't draw my card. That was a great draw.
Praise to Namira, who fears the ancient darkness. I smell the stench of the living.
I'm pretty sure I put that in this lane. What the hell was that? Okay, we are drawing like a madman here. That's unfortunate. We don't have a great answer to conscription. Actually, we have no answer to conscription. But I am going to play Parthenax. And then we have to win. Parthenax can bring back what? Nothing I'm super into bringing back. And our opponent concedes. Wow, okay. So we did outvalue Telvanni. That was an interesting game. Thaden Duke of Mania is an amazing card that I am having an absolute blast playing with. Usually Telvanni outvalues Tribunal, so that was a really interesting game, and I really appreciated the way that worked out. Anyway, this has been Meta Mondays. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on the ladder. Oh, don't forget to check out Thuldir, one of the greatest players in the game.